Russia's state-owned energy giant says it will further reduce gas deliveries to Europe. Gazprom is cutting its current supply via the Nord Stream pipeline down to about 20% of capacity from Wednesday. The company's CEO said it was down to an ongoing turbine issue.
As of today, there is no solution to the ongoing equipment issue at the Porto Velho compressor station. There is just no solution whatsoever yet.
The German government denied there was a technical reason to limit supplies. The pipeline, which pumps gas directly to Germany, has been running well below capacity since June. At that time, Gazprom stated the delivery of a new turbine as a reason to reduce flows.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov has arrived in the Republic of Congo on an official visit. He praised African leaders for rejecting Western pressure to cut ties with Moscow. It's the first visit by a Russian Foreign Affairs Minister to the oil-rich country, which has kept a neutral stance on Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. Russia supplies weapons and mercenaries to much of Africa in exchange for access to natural resources.
Today, this morning, at about 10:59, a 37-year-old woman gets dropped off, goes inside near the ticket counters in front of Southwest, goes at one point into a restroom, exits the restroom. Now she's either put some sort of hoodie on or some other different type of clothing than she had when she walked in. At some point, simultaneously, one of our officers is in the area. She produces a handgun and begins firing. At this point, we don't know where exactly the individual was aiming. For the most of what we're seeing now, she was aiming at the ceiling. But there was several rounds that are found. Simultaneously, as she's doing that, our officer engages the suspect, strikes her in the lower extremities. She's taken into custody and is currently at Parkland Hospital. No other individuals were injured in this event other than the suspect, who again is at Parkland.
As the economic meltdown continues to batter Sri Lanka, the South Asian nation is now seeking help from one of its close allies, China, to help boost its trade, investment and tourism sector. Now, Colombo's envoy to Beijing said on Monday that the country is now seeking help from China to revive these sectors amid the financial crisis. The development comes as the country negotiates for an emergency $4 billion package to help it emerge from the ongoing economic mess. In a latest interview on the financial crisis, Lankan envoy said that Colombo wants China to buy more Sri Lankan tea, sapphire and spices to help boost its trade.
South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced a series of reforms and new measures to address the ongoing energy crisis in the country. This comes as South Africa continues to witness its worst ever power crisis. According to reports, Ramaphosa has held consultations with ministers, stakeholders and energy experts outside the government to find a collective solution to the crisis. In a televised address on Monday, Ramaphosa outlined his plans to boost power supply in the country. He announced various interventions that the government has developed to respond to the crisis immediately. Firstly, authorities have been advised to improve the performance of the country's state-owned power utility, Eskom's existing fleet of power stations. Secondly, the government will accelerate the procurement of new generation capacity to boost production. Thirdly, authorities will help businesses and households to invest in rooftop solar panels. And finally, the government will implement measures to make the electricity sector a more sustainable one. Under the new measures, Eskom will also increase its maintenance budget to make its power stations more reliable.
In Canada, a gunman targeting homeless people fatally shot 2 men at Vancouver in British Columbia. On Monday, authorities said that the incident took place in a suburb and wounded 2 others before being shot and killed by police. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police said an emergency response team confronted the suspect not far from where a man was found with a gunshot to his leg. During an interaction with police, the suspect was shot and pronounced dead at the scene.
Israel has purchased 10,000 monkeypox vaccines and is set to receive 5,000 already this week, Prime Minister Yair Lapid said at the start of the weekly cabinet meeting on Sunday. This, up from the original 2,000 vaccines Israel had secured. With the arrival of the vaccines, Israel intends to begin vaccinating at-risk populations. The Health Ministry announced that as of this weekend, it had identified some 105 cases of monkeypox in Israel. Lapid added that the Health Ministry is also monitoring the information that has been gathered around the world on the disease and is in contact with health officials in all countries.